Hello, everyone. This isn't the greatest environment in which to record a video, but we'll do the best we can here. This is a new video for the midterm exam. I don't want any confusions over what we've accomplished in the past, so um, I'm not going to leave the other video up after today. You have, for this midterm exam, this week, next week, but you can begin thinking about it this week, and in fact, you can begin writing your essay. But the exam period will be Monday morning, July 2nd, until Sunday evening, midnight, July 8th. I'm giving you the extra time, not to dawdle necessarily, but because, in fact, it is the July 4th weekend, and many of you might be away from your desks for a day or two. So this will give you a chance to start working now, but also to complete the assignment in time. Again, early morning, July 2, Monday, until midnight, July 8th. If you have any questions about that, just email me, and you've been very good about that. And I thank everybody who emails me about ambiguities in questions or sometimes even the incorrect answer, which could come from a variety of things, including the fact that sometimes the default goes to a different response. So, all told, let's talk about the midterm a bit. As you can see from on the blog page where you're watching this, and from the assignment page, the exam is divided into two parts. And you can return, again, you can return as many times as you like to both parts of the essay. I used to have everybody do the first part in one setting, and I'd rather that you spend more time on things. You can return, add things, quotations. You're not limited to 8 sentences, nice hefty sentences. These are, consider them, really mini essays, the prompts. Now, I've given you all the prompts, and what I'll have is about 10 of them, 10 separate questions, prompts, in a pool. And so when you go into your exam, you'll have 5 of them pulled up. Each prompt has an A or a B, and so you'll have a choice for each of the prompts. So if you study a bunch of those prompts that I've given you, you'll probably cover a lot of the material that actually appears on your exam. Okay, so you should be in good shape there. Now, for each of them, if it comes up, whatever it comes up, talk about significance. Don't tell me who Daisy is. Don't tell me who Jet is. Oh, he's a dog and all this. Well, Jet is important for other reasons, about loyalty, about all the different kinds of things, his relationship with the little girl, all those kinds of things come into play, about survival and other matters. And the dog survives, which is kind of exciting. Unfortunately, the goat doesn't make it. And everybody suffers. You'll find that it happens a lot in these novels. And on this time, you have an interesting character in Daisy, as you're going to find, and there'll be prompts and an essay question upon this. Let me start over there. I got interrupted by a little bit by a cat, so forgive me. Make mini arguments. Now, there will be links. You'll find the links in there to a class from a couple years ago when we read a couple different books, including The Hunger Games and Carbon, one called Carbon 2012, I think, or something along those lines. A very good book I like to use, but it's out of print. And those are pretty good prompts, and for the essays too. So if you go there and you look, it's in. There's a link that takes it to my blog page, my web page, and another you'll find, I believe, in your documents or assignment folders. Look in both of them and you'll see the responses from previous years. And there, look over the essays, they're good, and also over the response to prompts, they're good. Not necessarily all of them, but to get an idea of how to approach these things so that, again, it's not plot summary, but you're making an argument and you're supporting it by evidence drawn from the text. So for parts 1 and 2, you can return as many times as you like over the course of the exam period. Don't be mixed up about that. You can go back and add to, subtract. You can do all those things to make the best effort possible. Okay? No surprises there. These are things that most of you talked about on the discussion threads. Rereading your discussion threads give you some good ideas too. That's why I bother with them. And we have some really good people in this class, so everybody can learn a lot from everybody else. I certainly do, reading your responses, which is the fun of teaching. All right, again, remember that exam period is Monday, July 2nd to Sunday, July 8th. You'll have time to do that. By the way, this week you'll also take a quiz over Eve, How I Live Now, and you're going to do your discussion threads as well. Eve, this book, How I Live Now, is a pretty quick read, and I think it's about the only one that you read this semester where there is no sequel. So it's a good book that we read for the 4th book of the course. Okay. Now you can, again, there are a bunch of suggested prompts for your essay there. If you're in want of one to write your other essay, 3 to 3.5 pages, that's due by the end of the semester, but certainly by week 6 if you want to have a chance to revise. Okay, you can use one of those others as long as you don't use the same prompt that you use for the exam response. Now, again, on this area, not for the exam, but for the essay, I'll make a little thing here is that for the 2 graduate students we have, you want yours to be about 10 pages. And you want to use sources other than, try to get some in there other than just the internet. You can do a little research. I might have an essay I can send you, depending on what you're doing work on. Or I can point you in some direction. So let me know where you're going there. And it applies to you too if you're going to do your essay. Okay, you have to use 2 other books or 1 other book in a series. And we have some excellent material coming up, especially if you want to read ahead. I've been reading all of the books in the series as we've gone along. So there you go. You should have no trouble in that area for the midterm exam or for your paper. And I'll get back to you. I give you those examples because on a midterm or whatever, they don't have a chance to do a whole bunch of commentary for people. So I give you these examples to show you how you can go about doing things. Time permitting, before the final, I will also put up examples drawn from this class of both the essays and the prompts for your future use, to improve everything for your final exam, which comes up rather quickly. It won't be as long as the midterm because you have more time now. If you have questions about any of this, all you have to do is email me and I'll get back to you. So, part 1 and 2, July 2nd to July 8th. And I don't have to repeat everything over again. Remember to take a look at the links, the essay material and the prompt material from the previous class. It'll be over the Hunger Games. I put that up there probably because a lot of people will be familiar with that. All right? And again, if you have questions, just drop me an email. Follow the instructions on the assignment page. and on the blog page, because they take you right where you have to go. Don't get confused with dates. All the essay, all the videos except this one have come from previous years. I've been doing this class for 3 or 4 years now, or maybe this is the fifth, except it's modified this time. Maybe asks a little more of you. So do the best you can. By the way, you can write longer if you want on the prompts and the exam. I like reading what you have to say. So don't feel you're constrained by you have to only do 7 to 8 sentences, okay? If you have more to say it. And by the way, feel free in your essay or your prompts to make references to other material we have read, or even material that you've read, by way of offering an explanation of the significance of something. You can find interesting contrasts and things like that. One thing you do not want to do on an essay, however, is have paragraphs devoted to some other book than the one you're focusing on. You can make references by way of support, but every paragraph on your essay should be about the book on which you write, your main focus. Other material is supplemental to make comparisons, to illustrate a point, any of those kinds of things. Again, look over the related class material. What you'll find mainly is in the first paragraph of an essay, people lay a foundation for the entire essay. Each point you make in your essay should refer to what you have to say in the introduction. That way you stay right on point and you don't drift off. So good luck to everybody on the exam. I look forward to reading what you have to say. Thus far, the discussion threads, everybody's doing a good job, and most all of you do excellent work on the quizzes. So again, keep looking at them, because I try to give you the responses, the correct response to all the questions. So enjoy this week, and then get to busy on next week. You can start writing your essay now, if you choose, because you're going to be given those choices that I have on the blog page and the assignment page. Those are going to be your choices on the exam for your essay. For the prompts, same thing goes. Nothing's going to change. I'm not going to throw anything in there that